This is exercise 6-12. We're going to create a sloped ceiling. So to start, we're going to click on the ground floor admin wing ceiling plan. Make sure that you're in the ceiling plan views. And we're going to zoom in on this room right here. A slope ceiling is going to be placed in this room. To get started, we're going to select the ceiling tool from the build panel on the architecture ribbon. So architecture ribbon, build panel, ceiling. We're going to select the sketch ceiling from the ceiling panel over here, sketch ceiling, and we want to select the rectangle tool from the draw panel. We're going to draw a rectangle inside the room by selecting the opposing corners of the room. So I'm going to start here, I'm going to bring it down and select this opposing corner. I'm going to select the slope arrow tool from the draw panel to place a slope. So using the draw tool, I'm going to select the midpoint at the top of the rectangle. So this is the midpoint. I'm going to click there, and I'm going to bring the arrow down to indicate the direction of the slope. I'm going to pick to place the endpoint so it coincides with the lower wall. Okay. So right there. On the properties pane, I'm going to specify select slope. So at properties panel, I want to look under specify, and I'm looking for select slope. So let's look for height offset. Where are you, buddy? There it is. Specify slope. Sorry. I'm going to set the height offset at tail, so at the end point right here, so at its tail, the height offset is going to be 6 inches. So height offset at tail, we're going to type in 6 inches. And then we're going to set the slope to be 2 to 12. So at this point it will be 6 inches, and then after that we'll slope up every 12 inches over, it'll go up 2 inches. In the properties pane, I'm going to click out of that or hit modify or escape to get out of that command. And now in the properties pane, you want to take a look at the type selector. We want to select gypsum wallboard on metal studs. So that's what GWB means, gypsum wallboard, and MTL is an abbreviation for metal. So on metal stud, we're going to hit the green check mark. The ceiling does not display a hatch pattern by default. If you want a hatch pattern to show up, we have to do some different steps. So with the ceiling selected, or if you unselected the ceiling, a window around it, and then use the filter tool so that you select the ceiling. And we're going to right click on it, and we're going to say override graphics in view by element. Okay, and we can use this to expand the surface patterns category. So the surface pattern is what we would be seeing here, and we can change the pattern to gypsum wallboard. So if we show down, or gypsum plaster, so it's a bunch of little dots. We're going to say apply, and you'll see those dots show up right there. And then we can say OK. Now we're going to activate the ground floor plan. So this says floor plan. And we're going to select the section tool from the create panel. So we are going to come up, and we're going to go view, section tool, create, and we want to run a section so it intersects the room with the sloped ceiling. So it says left click below the room at door 10 to start the section. So we're going to start it here, and then we're going to pull it up, and we want to end it a little bit above door 6. And we want the section to be, I'm going to move mine back a little with the arrow key, we want it to be viewing this direction. Okay, now you can right click on this and you can say go to view, and it'll open that section. And then you see here is that sloped ceiling that we created. So go ahead and select that ceiling, and then in the properties pane over here, set the height offset from 8 feet to 7 feet, and then set the slope to 1/4 inch, equals 12 inches. And then press apply, and you'll see that the ceiling updated with the new value. So instead of it being sloped way up here, it has a much shallower slope. So if you ever need to create a sloped ceiling, say in like an auditorium in a building, that would be how you would go about doing it.